Is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Get ready to get started here for this week. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is um, the importance of just having a system, following the system. I know it gets boring a lot of times. It's nice to try something new, but the the thing is, guys, the year I made 667, the year I made 967, I did the same thing over and over and over. So when I saw a client, what do you think, guys? Do you think I tried to decide whether to go through the system or not, or what do you think I did? So let me see some answers. Do you think I've evaluated every single client, saying, I wonder if I should do the 21 or not, or I wonder if I should do this or not? What do you think I did? That's right, Jerry. I just did the system. That's right, Dale. Yep. But we all, guys, we have to be reminded of that over and over and over because we all forget. I mean, about every 6 months, I would make a mistake and and try to take a shortcut. The shortcut always bit me in the behind. So I was just talking to Tom, one of my favorite guys on the system, who because he just follows the system, but we all have little hiccups, and so he kind of shared that hiccup with me, and I thought you guys might benefit from that. So Tom, what happened with you?
Well, Mike, from some marketing that I had been working on, I had a client or a prospective client come into my office, a little older than the norm, not terribly warm and fuzzy. In fact, my terminology for the gentleman was he was pretty crotchety with me. He was pretty open, shared his story and what's going on in his world of assets and things like that. Talked about the fact that wasn't terribly close with his grandkids, wasn't terribly close with all of his kids, and I just didn't get the warm fuzzies. There wasn't a seeming connection between us, but he was definitely looking for some help and some answers. And a little bit older gentleman, typically outside the norm of the age that I would normally go after. So when I started in my head formulating all these other thoughts, I said, gosh, what am I going to do with this guy? This is so atypical. This is so not what I want to do. And so the first thing I did is, of course, in the agreement meeting was kind of gather the data, and that's all the things we did. And then I came to you to talk about, geez, this guy and what a pain, and it's not going to be any good. And I just, not sure how I should handle this. And that's when I got the proverbial slap on the back of the head from you, which is the question. The great question is, why are you prejudging? Which I hadn't even thought about it. Your statement you made a few moments ago was just spot on. We've been working together now for quite a while, but every few months or so, I just kind of look for some reason. You find a person, you say, hey, I'm going to have a shortcut here for some dumb reason, whatever is going on in your head, and that's exactly what I was trying to do with this guy because I didn't think it was going to go anywhere with him. And that was all completely prejudging without even knowing 100% of the details.
And then when you just went ahead and did the system and didn't prejudge and just let the cards fall where they may, what happened?
Well, that was the funny part, was the fact that that's exactly what you said to me. Look, don't stop prejudging this guy. Just walk through everything as you normally would. Just walk through all the steps. And interestingly enough, as I started going through the things that I didn't think he would care about, that I didn't think were going to be important, some of the non-financials like the survivor's guide and even talking in detail about the POA and stuff, he warmed up within minutes because he talked about how important it was. And geez, I didn't realize I was missing this information, and I hadn't updated my POA in years. I didn't realize these were the things that were going on, and so on and so forth. And by the end of the traditional 21 point, the traditional disclosure meeting, not only did he tell me he wanted me to look at implementation, look at plans for him, he said to me, pretty paraphrase here, but close enough, that he's never in his X number of years had anybody share with him the kind of details that I did and help him explain and understand things the way that we did through this whole process. And he was very grateful. He said, and I kind of like you. So in the end, what we've got is a small case, but then again, here was my prejudging. Had I prejudged this guy, I wouldn't have found a new client. It's a small case to start with, but then had I, again, continued with my prejudging, he's selling his home right now. It's up for sale, and he said, I don't need the money. I'm going to dump it all into the things that we put together. And just the other day, I got a call from his fiance, who is very well off, and he's already referred me to her, saying that you need to go through this process with Tom. So in the end, long story short, that's what happened. I would have prejudged. I would have shot myself in the foot, and I would have not ended up with a good client and already a good referral.
And I think it's always, well, yeah, and Jeff Freeberg, maybe you can get in here too, but what I find is when guys want to change a system or when they want to take shortcuts, it's usually when they're, like Tom said, when they're crotchety or when they're super nice and pre-sold. So it's like on the edges of that curve. They want to not do it when people are crotchety. They want to not do it when people are really friendly. I think on the crotchety side, we get a little bit afraid because the crotchety people are just coming in for wanting to know about the money, and and they're getting irritated with us talking about anything about but the money, and so we got to go right at it, give them what they want, or they're super nice, so we think, hey, this deal's in the bag already, so why don't we just go ahead and just give them, show them what we're going to do and take the shortcut. So what would you add to that, Jeff?
I would say the person that's the person who's always looking to do something different is somebody who hasn't done a 21 at all. And it's surprising to me how many of you haven't done it. It's because I hear a lot of excuses. I hear, well, this is different, it's a referral. I hear this is different, they don't have a lot of money. I hear this is different, they do have a lot of money. I hear this is different because they're talking to somebody else. I always hear it's different. And then surprisingly, occasionally I'll get calls that will say, hey, you know what, I'm sold. I am a believer now. I did the 21 and it went just like you guys said. And in my mind I'm thinking, but haven't you been with this for a year? So there are a lot of people that are out there afraid to even try it, and so I would encourage you to try it. And I think what you'll learn when you try it is there's nobody that's different. Now, we could always say that everybody's different if we wanted to, or you could say, hey, nobody's different, and the reason I got into this is I wanted a system, something that I could take everybody. The doctor doesn't treat anybody different. The doctor doesn't say, I'm not going to do height and weight today because this is a little kid. I'm not going to do height and weight today because this is an old man. I'm not going to do height and weight today because they just had that done 6 months ago. I'm not going to do, you're better off in every profession running everybody through the same process and making sure nothing slips through the cracks.
And thanks, Jeff. And now Tom's been doing 21s for a couple of years now, so we all have these, so I agree with Jeff, the vast majority, you just are not doing enough of them because you're making these excuses the vast majority of the time instead of every once in a while. So Tom just made this excuse every once in a while. I'll tell you, with the 181 clients I brought on those 2 years, I made 67 and 967. I probably once or twice tried to take a shortcut. So every 6 months or so, I would have to be reminded, quit doing stupid things because the system works. And here's the thing, guys. Just think about it this way. All of the responsibility is being lifted off of you. All the energy has been invested already for you. So if you do the system and they do not become a client, guess who you can blame? So who could you blame, Tom? If you did the system and it didn't work, who could you blame?
You could blame them.
Well, how about, okay, if you do the system like I tell you to do and it does not work, then who should you blame?
Then I should blame me. Or you, I'm sorry, blame you.
Should blame me. Should blame me.
Monday.
So,
blame you.
Monday. So, guys, why not do it the way we ask you to do it? And then Jeff and I will shoulder all of the blame if it doesn't work. You don't have to hit yourself about the head and shoulders, say, oh, I'm not good enough, and oh, blah, 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 blah. We'll take the full blame. Jeff and I will take the full blame. So just do the system. If it doesn't work, Jeff and I will take the blame. In fact, Jeff doesn't even have to take the blame. I'll take the full blame if the system doesn't work. That should be that should be a huge relief for you. That should be a load off your shoulders. Guess what? You're not responsible for your success anymore. I'll take the full responsibility. And you get all the benefits. So does that make sense? So so Tom, thanks for sharing that, and first of all, for bringing it to my attention, because many guys would just try to sweep that under the rug. I mean, if you're wondering whether you should do the system or not, talk to Jeff or I and let us talk some sense into you. I mean, I understand we're all an island out there. We don't have anybody at the water cooler. You don't have anybody to bounce things off of. So if you're ever wondering, contact Jeff or I, and we will help you get your mind right. Okay. So thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I
No
think
problem.
that helps everybody. Super. So next thing we're going to talk about here is this. So what I want you to get from this is this. Through 1990, how did the market perform? Through 1990, how did the market perform? So from 1965 through 1990, how did the market perform? Really, if we went back further, it'd be the same thing. Really? So look at it. Guys, use your friggin' eyes. So from 1965 to 1990, what happened with the market? Guys, I'm getting consistently up. Look at it. From 1965 to 1990, what happened? The market went up, and then it went what? Then it went up, and then it went what? Then it went up, then it went what? Then it went up, then it went what? Then it went up, then it went what? So stockbrokers from 1965 to 1990 realized that what? And really, if we went back to 1900, this stretches all the way back looking like this from 1900. So what did stockbrokers learn? To promise the market was going to only go up? That over time the market would go up? That we weren't going to see any down? What did stockbrokers from 1900, if you looked at it, it looks the exact same way from 1900 to 1990. So for 90 years it looks the same. What did stockbrokers tell their clients? Listen, the market's going to go up, it's going to go down. But then a miracle happened. From 1990, look at how long we went and how high we went. And sure, we had a correction in 2000. And then look how long we went and how high we went. And then sure, we had a correction. Then look how long we went and how high we went. So all the brokers that came on since 1990, that's guys like me. All the brokers that came on from 1990, guess what we think? So this I want a lot of answers to. All the brokers that came on since 1990, what do we think about the stock market? It's a what? I mean, it's why you got dumbasses like Fisher having someone who's 70 years old with all their money in the market. Yeah, there we got it. You're right, Jeannie. It's a miracle. Sean, it's a bull. It's a guarantee, Bert. No, John. No, brokers don't think it's a casino. They think it's freaking what? They've lived through what part of the stock market? So for 90 years, the market sucked. It went up and down, up and down, up and down. But from 1990 to current, they think the market does what? Only goes what? Sure, we have very short periods of time where it goes down, but we recover almost instantaneously. And guys, I'll tell you straight out, what caused from 1990 to 2000, what gave us that growth? From 1990 to 2000, what gave us that growth? That's right, tech and the internet. From 2002 to 2008, what gave us that? And you already said it, somebody said it here, I saw it earlier. Credit, that's right, Mark, credit. Our home equities. Then all we did was recover here. But where's our growth coming from now? Is it coming from housing? Is it coming from tech? Where's our growth going to come going forward? Yeah, QE, that's right. So from 2008 to here was the QE. So do we have is tech going to do what it did before? That's right, John, fake money. So is tech going to do what it did before? Has that already been played out? Home equity, has that been played out? QE, has that been played out? Guess what? Guess what's not? Guess what we don't have right now? Guess what we don't have now? We don't have an engine. So it doesn't mean the market's going to get crushed, but guess what we're going to go back to? Reality. we're going to go back to reality, which means what? Like we saw from 1990 to current, or we're going to see like from 1900 to 1990. Guess what all the academics are saying? And do I trust academics or do I trust people who sell crap? I trust academics. That's what they're saying, Kevin, right? Single digits if we're lucky. And high single digits or mid single digits? Yeah, mid. So I just think we have to be reminded of this. But, let's face it. If every time I put a quarter, if the first, could it be possible that I would win a couple of times with the slots in one day? Yes. But then I think what? What do I think about slots? Hey, this is awesome. It's like a money-making machine. It's awesome. See, unfortunately, we are victims of our current experience. So all the stockbrokers out there right now think that what? The market is the only way to go because of this, when really for 90 years that's how it worked. And these three engines are dead. There's no more engines like that. If you want an engine like that, you better not be investing in the U.S. You better be somewhere else, because the engines like that in the U.S. are done. Makes sense? So it doesn't mean that the market's dead. It means the market's going to be much more subdued, and it's going to be a lot more up and down like it was from 1900 to 1990. Here's a little note for people using the Identity Theft Protection Letter. The IRS, leave it to the government. The IRS has a note here saying, this tool, the ID Identity Protection Pin, the IP pin, is unavailable until further notice. The Internal Revenue Service is reviewing this tool and looking at further strengthening of the security measures. So terrific. The government gave us people who had ID theft and IP pin, and guess what happened to the IP pin? It got cracked. It got hacked, right, Kevin? So it's no longer working. Which, guys, is this a good thing or a bad thing as far as we're concerned? This is a great thing. Why, Bert? What can you do with this? Guys, is this an unbelievable reason to contact your clients or your prospects? And if you're an accountant, is this an unbelievable reason to get your clients in to do ID protection? Man, I'd be all over this. This is a gift. Because here's the thing. The best marketing out there is the stuff that's hot off the presses, something nobody else knows about, something that just occurred. And guys, this is hot off the presses. So basically we're saying that what? The IRS has been hacked yet again. In fact, the IRS has been hacked in the most sensitive of all areas, which is the IP pin that they were using to protect people's identities. I'd be all over this, guys. So if you sent out ID theft letters, I'd send them again with a big red mark around this saying, the IRS just got hacked on this. Contact me right away. So the best marketing is something that's happening right now, and something that will affect them immensely, and that this fits both pins. So if you Google this IRS ID protection pin, you'll see this note up there, so it's easy to prove. Make sense? Okay, handling yappers and questions. So I actually, there's three different reasons people talk a lot. One is if they're nervous. One is if they are convinced that they know more than you. And one is if they just have a lot of questions, and all three of those are handled in this audio. So if you go to agreement meetings under audios and scripts, 21-point meeting, audios and scripts, they're all in the same place, because we get yappers in the agreement meeting, we get yappers in the 20-point checklist, and we get yappers in the implementation meeting, so we have that there for you to know how to handle all three of them, okay? So I thought I'd let you know that's there. So target marketing is the basically it's the Bible for marketers of all sorts, whether it's internet marketers, magazine. Basically, it's all the executives out there that are marketing. Target Magazine is the Bible for them. And the reason I bring them up is they did a big article on social media, and it said social media is not for every business. So guess which businesses they said that social media is terrific for? And what businesses do you think it said it was not good for? So what business do you think they said it was terrific for? Well, I'm getting products. There you go, Jerry. Consumer products, business to consumer. So social media is awesome for business to consumer, but LinkedIn in particular is only good for what? And guys, for 5 years now, I've had advisor after advisor after advisor tell me all about their LinkedIn and how many LinkedIns they got, and there's this service that's going to get them with appointments with LinkedIn and blah, 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 blah. And every single time I roll my eyes, every time they tell me, they always give me preliminary, man, this is working awesome. Yeah, it works awesome. Why? Because people will sit down with you, but what are they doing with LinkedIn when they're sitting down with you? When you sit down with somebody from LinkedIn, what are they doing at the same time you're doing? Yeah, they're selling you at the same time you're selling them. Guess what they're not interested in? They're interested in selling themselves, getting something for themselves. They're not interested in anything you have for them. And it's fun. I mean, I always got guys tell me how great it's working, how great it's working. Man, I'm sitting down with all sorts of people. With guys, that's like having a seminar with 100 people come in and you sell nobody. What's the point? What is the point? So please, LinkedIn is terrific for business to business. So if you're looking to get somebody, a job or anything like that, LinkedIn is fantastic. If you're looking for a way into a company, it's fantastic. But selling products, it is not. And it's not me saying it. It's this magazine who does nothing but this kind of research has said that very thing. Facebook is suffering the same fate as all marketing, oversaturation, which means that Facebook used to be fantastic, just like everything used to be fantastic to everybody using it. So now there's a lot of noise. It's still viable, and they're still saying absolutely use Facebook, but it's not the cure-all, end-all that it used to be. So LinkedIn, don't even bother using it if you're going to a consumer. It's only good for getting jobs and getting inside of a company or getting introductions inside a company. It's not good for selling stuff. Facebook is not as good as it used to be, but it's still viable. Just got to do a little bit more of it than we used to. Make sense? Okay, so on the survey, first of all, thanks for sending the surveys that we sent out here about a month ago back to us. I think we got like 80% of you sent those back. And quite a few of them, you said you were interested in the a la carte services of 5Q. So I thought I would just walk through all of the a la carte stuff that we have. And we've got more than this, but I just wanted to give you an overview on the stuff that we had, so to make sure, in case you're not familiar, that you'll get familiar with the things that we have to offer. So just a second here. Okay, here we go. So first of all, in the marketing department, let's go there first. Let's talk about it. So epidemic marketing. Epidemic marketing, if I click that, we've got lots of different things with epidemic marketing. We have got the client prospect drift. So I'm just going to go to one of these months here. We'll go to February. And email and snail mail newsletter. Email and snail mail, they're both different. Which do you think I prefer, email or snail mail? Which one do you think I prefer, email or snail mail? If you're only going to do one. You guys are so smart. Yes, snail mail, exactly. Because here's the thing, 15 years ago, I preferred email. I preferred email 15 years ago. Today, I prefer snail mail. Why do you think that I've flip-flopped? How much snail mail did we get 15 years ago? Tons. How much do we get today? As in comparison? Virtually none. Because everybody sends emails now. Yeah, and think about it, guys. When I just got, before the call, I had my Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning emails to go through. How long do you think it took me to go through those emails? I probably had, I think, close to about 90 of those emails. How long did it take me to get through them? Kevin got it. 30 seconds. So how long do you think it takes clients to get through their emails? 30 seconds. But when you send snail mail, they get it. I mean, and they read it. And the thing about our snail mail, I mean, again, it's one page, not even on your letterhead, it's just on a plain piece of paper. You print it out. So let me look at it here, download it. And guys, it is purposely done to look like an amateur. It's not, we do not want it to look professional. We want it to look like an amateur. So it's on a regular piece of paper, You insert your personal information here. So is this where you put your name and address, guys? What's personal here? What do we put here? We want a little story about you. What's happening with your dog, your kids, your grandkids, family stuff, because this is a way for you to visit them every single month in their living room. And it has huge impact. And then is the article about money or something on the fringes of money? About money or on the fringes of money? On the fringes. Because if all we talk about is money, then they know all we care about is what? Their money. What's every other newsletter that's being hawked to you guys about? Money. And who reads newsletters about money, guys? Let's talk about that. Who reads newsletters about money? Do-it-yourselfers, Bert. Right. So great. Yeah, Mark, do-it-yourselfers. So great. Then I have people coming in to talk to me about what I have in the newsletter, and I'm actually paying money for that newsletter to have a bunch of do-it-yourselfers come in. So I don't want do-it-yourselfers. I want people who are happy with advisors, and so it's about the fringes of money, so it looks like we're taking care of them. So I'm going to get rid of this here a second. And then the POC checklist. This month's was about the prescription record checklist. So you want to insert this with that newsletter. Insert that with the newsletter, and it's just a little. This month it's a prescription record. So every month it's some little thing that we're giving them. It could be what things you can destroy, what things you should keep. It could be how to have a great garage sale checklist. Could be what you should pack when you're going on a trip checklist. So it's just little helpful things, whether they like them or not. What if we send that POC checklist, but they don't feel it has any, it's not helpful to them at all? Does it still work the way we want it to? What does it do? When we send it to them, they say, I don't even have any prescriptions. What's it do? Shows we care, Craig. Exactly right. It shows that we care. We're giving them additional value. And how much more does it cost to put that in with the newsletter? About 2-3 cents? Because it doesn't cost us any more for the postage. It's just another piece of paper to put in there. And the other thing we want to put in there is a walk down memory lane. So they love this thing here. I mean, I love it. So it talks about, and this month was May, June 1940. What was happening in the news? Top stories. What's in entertainment? What did things cost? They love this stuff. You'll insert this too. What does that cost you? Basically nothing. So guess what starts to happen? Are they deleting your emails? Or are they looking forward to this mail every single month in their mailbox? Instead of just deleting it, guess what they're doing? They're looking forward to this. And how does that help you? What's the number one reason people leave their current advisor? By far, by almost double. What's the number one reason people leave their current advisor by almost double? No contact, right, Kevin, Jonathan? That's right, Craig. No contact, right, William? No contact. So here's the thing. First of all, you better be contacting your clients what? Every month, at most every 2 months. This is a great way to do it in a nice, friendly, non-financial way, showing that you care. And what they found, what do you think they found with contact? Is it more important to have non-financial or financial contact with your clients? Non-financial or financial? Exactly right. Non-financial. So unless you want to figure out another way to have non-financial contact, we've actually created that for you. Now, why would you want to send this to prospects then? Why would you want to send this to prospects? Do our competitors ever make mistakes? Do they have bad days or forget to return phone calls? Does their receptionist have a bad day and maybe be grumpy on the phone? Do they not call when the market's down and the client has to chase them? Or do they say when the market's down, do they say things like, you know, you just got to hold on, don't worry about it, we've got it handled, remember we talked about this, the market's going to come back, we just have to do they say things like that? Guys, is that a mistake when they say that to their client? Is that a mistake when they say that to the client? Hey, don't worry, the market's going to come back, you know, everything's going to be okay. Yes, it's very much a mistake. So, and then how often are competitors contacting their clients? Not very often. And if they are, what are they contacting them about? Money or non-financial? Money. So here's the thing. You send this out to your prospects, and you don't know when, but it's going to arrive one day at the right place, right time, and guess what you got? And with the drip, how many of these do you need to sell per year in order to make it pay for itself? One. You sell one person, you get one referral from this, and it's paid for the year, probably for the next 5 years. So guess how many people you should have on your drip marketing list? Any person you can find. When should you take a person off? It's hilarious to me when somebody say, I've been dripping on them for 3 years and they still haven't become a client, so should I take them off the list? What do you think I tell them? Never. Never, never, never. Only, that's right, Dale, only if they ask to be taken off. And guess how many people ask to be taken off of this drip list? No one, because it's not about money. Make sense? So that's one of the things that we have. Also, if we go back to the epidemic marketing.
Mike, can I just interject
Yeah,
a question that came in? So
Yeah.
Kevin actually asked a really good question. He said, is there a certain intro letter that you send out for the first time? And there absolutely is. So if you
But I
click
wouldn't
on,
bother doing it.
you don't
So
want
there is, but I wouldn't bother doing it. Guys, it's just an extra step. We have one. You want to do it? Terrific. Anybody that asks me should they do it, guess what I say? No. Why? Do you think that, what if a client calls you up and says, hey, why are you sending me this newsletter? Is that a bad thing or a good thing? It's a great thing. Are they going to say, you know what, geez, they should have told me why they're sending this, doggone, I'm going to throw this in the trash? Are they going to do that? Geez, I would have liked this newsletter, but if they would have sent me a letter telling me why they're sending it to me, but now they're just sending it to me, I'm going to throw it in the trash. No. So guys, you worry about things you shouldn't worry about. The stuff we're sending, are they going to be happy or mad at you for sending it? Happy or sad? Well, Kevin, it's not just you. I get that question all the time. So, guys, you worry about things you should not worry about. So they're going to be happy. Just start sending it. Save yourself a list. So, Kevin, it's not you. I get that question all the time. It drives me bananas. So we have it there for people that absolutely insist on it. I think it's just a wasted stamp, wasted time, wasted money. Let's get warming and up right away, and sending the letter out does not work. Sorry, I'm not poo-pooing you, Missy, so I hope you don't think I am. So it's a question we get all the time.
I'll just change my conversation with the guys. So thanks. I've learned, come to work to learn something every day. So.
So just send the letter. CPA attorney drip, this is the drip that we have. You just send it on your letterhead. It's a few it's a few paragraphs, and it's not about what you can do for their clients. It's about helping them increase their business. It's about helping them look smarter with their clients. Letter to the editor, again, Jeff does a great job of writing a little letter you can send to the editor about non-financial or even financial things that you can get in the paper. And I will tell you straight out that you'll never get a client. Nobody's ever going to call you and say, oh, I saw your letter to the editor. I want to become a client of yours. No, but I would tell you that it works, and here's why. I've had a letter to the editor every 3 months, which is about all my paper would allow. I never had anybody call me because I sent to put the letter in there, but I cannot tell you how many times when somebody was filling out the paperwork, guess what they said? Yeah, I see your letters in the editor all the time. So my letters to the editor either made them more likely to respond to my marketing or made them more likely to move their money to me, but it had an effect. And how much did it cost me to do that, guys? How much did it cost me to do that? And in today's world, it doesn't even cost you a stamp, because most of these letters to the editors want you to send it via email. And it costs you nothing to do it. So please, and if you got 3 papers, how many times should you be sending this stuff in? No, I don't put my firm's name on there. I put my name on there. So yes, every single paper, every single paper. Small business pot of gold. You can do this or not do this. It depends on you. How many? Do you think I'm a fan of working with business owners? I get guys all the time telling me, yeah, I'm going to go after business owners. Yeah, I'm going after business owners. Yeah, I go after business owners. You think I'm saying that's a great idea, or you think I say that's idiotic? Because guys, I've been teaching this for coaching for 15 years. And Jeff, I'll have you get in here in a second too. All the guys that tell me they're going after businesses, dudes. First of all, let's just talk about business owners first. We're going to talk about business owners, then we're going to talk about 401ks. So business owners first. Where's all their time spent? Where's all their money spent? Where's all their risk? Where's all their interest? Where's all their focus? Guess what they don't have time for? Yeah, just like you, John. It's like us. That's where all our time and energy is. So they don't have time for you. So why would you even want to go after those guys? Again, back to LinkedIn, right? And then the 401k, the guys always tell me, yeah, I'm going to get in the 401k business. I'm going to start getting 401k. Because you know what? When those people start retiring, they're going to talk to me. Bull crap. Guys, where do you get all your business from? I know where I got all my business from. People are retired moving their 401ks. So there is no guarantee that you're going to get the 401ks when they retire. And how many of those people are retiring on an annual basis? And how much work does it take? How much work does it take? And here's the sad thing. I got actually 2 guys on the system that would be huge. I got 2 guys on the system that would easily be $10 million plus producers. But instead, they're chugging along at $150,000 a year, $180,000 a year of income. They could be making $600,000, $700,000 a year. And guess why they can't get up to the $600,000, $700,000 a year, guys? Guess why they can't? Why can't they? Why? Because they're working 401ks. Why can't they? Because they're what? They're trapped. They're trapped. Why? Because they're trapped making $150,000 to $180,000. Because guess what they have to do every single day? What do they have to do every single day? Service. Service those people. Answer questions. Go back, dudes. And how much are they getting paid to do that? Diddly-do. So I don't want to work with business owners while they're working. I certainly don't want to work the 401k market unless I'm Vanguard, unless I'm Fidelity. But as an individual, I don't want to. As a corporation, yeah, I could see that, but not as an individual. But I do want to work with a business owner when? When do I want to work with a business owner? My 2 biggest clients came to me when they sold their business, right, guys? My 2 biggest clients came to me when they sold their business. But the thing is, we don't know when they're going to sell their business, do we? We don't know. It doesn't make the paper until it's done. So the pot of gold system might only work once every 2, once every 3 years. But you find all the family-owned businesses in your community, and you start sending them this letter. And again, it's about how to make their lives easier. It's about how to make them more money. It's about how to save them money. It's about how to handle employees. It's about how to lower their fees on credit card servicing. It's all those kind of things. Nothing about what we can do for them financially. It's about helping them and their business. So when they are ready to sell, who will they think of? Us. And I tell you what, guys, these people are the easiest people to sell. See, they've made their business grow by knowing people, judging people with a shake of the hand. So they don't go out and try to find, interview 15 people to find out what they should do with their $10 million they just got for selling their waste management service. Guess what? They walk in. If they like you, they move the money that day. No questions asked. It's the easiest sale you ever make, but you have to be there when it happens. So the small business pot of gold is simply sending family-owned businesses this letter every single month, knowing that you might not get anything for 2 years, but when you get something, guys, that will what? When you get one of these guys, guess what? It could be as big as what you've made the past 3 years. Make sense? So these are the epidemic marketing pieces. So now let's go back here. What else do we have in our a la carte? Fires, floods, and taxes. So fire, floods, and taxes is another presentation that you can do in about an hour, and it's actually customizable to whatever you want to sell. So the first 2/3 of it is about stuff that we can help them out with, like the property casualty checklist. It's all sorts of things that we can help them out with. And then the final module, you can put in whatever you want to sell. So you could put in the one-way, you could put in the win-win-win, you could put in whatever you want at the end to sell. And the big thing that you would use this for, you can use this for Rotary or a church or whatever. You can use it for that. But the other thing you can use it for is a great way to use this is to have your clients invite their friends. Do small referral dinners. And if I'm doing a client dinner with, say, 3 clients and 3 of their friends, would I do it in a middle-of-the-road restaurant or a nice restaurant? Middle of the road or nice? If I'm doing it for clients, I'm going to do it at a nice restaurant, right? And so the letter says the ticket in is bringing their friends. So it's going to be small. It's going to be up to, say, 12 people, right? 3 clients, 3 referrals, and 3 of their friends. It's going to be 12 clients at a very nice restaurant. by this qualified, because guess what your client's going to be doing to their friend all day long? Talking you up. So if they, and then we've got a script here that if they call in and they want to come to this, but they don't have a friend, guess what we tell them politely? Oh, that's awesome. You know what? We're filled up, but because I've had several clients call in and they're bringing their friends, so we did fill up. I can put you on the wait list for the next one. Yeah, that's why, you know, when people bring friends, it fills up very, very quickly. So I'm basically saying what? If you want to come next time, what? Get in here with a friend. Make sense? So this is a great way to, if you've got a good clients that love you, don't you want clients just like that? Don't you want more clients just like that? This is a great thing to be doing. And then let's see if I can go down here. And then obviously the CPA, the community education system is doing working for adult education. For some areas, this is working fantastic. For others, it's already been polluted by salespeople who have come in and burned the landscape, so they won't touch us anymore. But it's worth a shot because it costs you nothing, and sometimes even pay you to do these classes. So it's worth approaching your community education departments in the cities near you to get in there to do this and see if they'll allow you to do it. And then the CPA system obviously is to get in front of CPAs. The CPA system is working fantastic for people who have relationships with CPAs. It is not working for people who are going and calling CPAs up and trying to nurture, trying to create relationships cold. So where it's working is, for example, somebody who's known a CPA for 10 years and they've never gotten that CPA to refer to them, overnight, in one conversation, these people are now referring to them. So we have a way for you to create that relationship with your current clients, CPAs, and and it's a way for you to nurture the CPAs that you know now. And if, guys, here's the first thing. If your CPA won't play ball with this, guess what? We all have CPAs, I hope. And if your CPA will not play ball with this, then guess what? And I've had, I'd probably say 10 guys do this in the past month. If your CPA will not play ball with the CPA system, guess what? That's right. Bye-bye, change CPA. I've had about 10 guys do that in the last month. Guys, is there any shortage of CPAs that will do your taxes for you? If they won't play ball, find one who will. Because if you have a guy doing this, this is worth probably 30 clients a year to you. And 30 good clients or 30 bad clients? Good clients. So make sure you're using that CPA system as well. Okay, now the next thing we're going to talk about, is make sure you know about this, is getting started. And we're going to go to the, let's see here, quick start program, I think. Nope. Going to go to toolbox. 5Q elevator speech. We have the elevator conversation mini. So I'm going to download that. This is something you should be able to do anytime somebody asks you what you do. So our elevator speech for the 5Q system is I show people in Olmsted County residents born before it should be 1956 now, if we can change that, Tricia. Before 1956, how to get an average of $3,612 in benefits they weren't aware they qualified for by using integrated software. Instead of saying integrated benefit software, what I would say is a new full checklist software that draws from 21 different data points, including Social Security, state, and local databases. Am I going to say all of that, or am I going to break it into a short conversation starting with, well, I show people here in Olmsted County born before 1956 on how to get an average of $3,612 in benefits they weren't qualified for. When you say that, what will they do? When you say that, what will most people say? How, Bert? Exactly. How did you do that? And when they say, how did you do that, are they running across the party to talk to somebody else by me saying, I'm a financial advisor, I'm a wealth manager? When you say that, they run across the party to talk to somebody else. But when I say this, you're like, well, how do you do that? Because does it sound like I'm a financial advisor when I say that? They don't even know what I am. And then when they ask, well, how do you do that? I say, well, I use this cool new software called, instead of integrated benefits, we should change that to full checklist software. You can actually see it online. Oh, really? Yeah, it draws from 21 different data points, including Social Security, state, local databases, and tells you exactly what you're owed. So, it's about this mini elevator speech is more of a mini conversation than just going on and on and on about all these things. Does that make sense? So please use that. You should all have that memorized to be very, very well versed in that. Then if we go down here, back to Toolbox, or maybe we don't have it. Nope, it's in the archives. So we're going to go down to library, archives. Here's another thing that we can use. Oh, we have a lot of them. Be a star, that's basically how to create a YouTube, become a YouTube phenomenon. We have the client advisory board. This is huge for you. If you've got clients, this is a fantastic way. You should be able to create every quarter 9 referrals using this. Because what you're going to have your client advisory board do is help you develop your own 5Q mini statement. Now, what's the advantage of that? If they help you develop your own elevator speech, what we're going to tell them, because you can actually, and it walks you through this in the actual guide on how to do this. But one of the things we're going to do to make, how do you think you make sure an elevator speech works? How are you going to make sure an elevator speech works? Because we walked them through the 5 steps of creating an elevator speech. The last step is this: try it, and if at least 50% of the people ask you how do you do that, then it works. So guess what we're going to have every single person in the client advisory board do? Try it out to see if 50% of the people they say that to says how. If only half of them are willing to do that, it'll still get you about 9 referrals a year. I'm sorry, a quarter. Every time you do this client advisory board, every quarter you get 9 referrals. So all you do is at the end of the quarter, you get a new bunch of people to be in your client advisory board. Then you get a new bunch of people to be in your client. So you can actually do 4 of these in a year. So if you like referrals, then this is what you should be doing. Because if you just sit and wait for referrals to happen, guess what? If you sit and wait for referrals to happen, they're only going to happen when somebody asks your client, hey, do you know somebody? Well, how often does that happen, guys? How often are your clients approached and said, hey, do you know anybody that I could help me with my finances? Rarely, exactly. So if you want them to reach out and get you referrals, then guess what? The client advisory board is the way to do it. We have the client. We're coming into summer, so you should all be doing a summer event, this client appreciation barbecue event. It's cheap, it's easy, and it is effective. Client appreciation monthly. You should do take one client whose birthday comes this month. Take one client whose birthday comes this month, and you should do a luncheon for them. This system tells you how to do that. And guess what? They're going to invite their friends, neighbors, and relatives. So here's the thing. You're not going to get a client every single time you do this, but if you got an extra 4 clients a year, how profitable is that? And I'll tell you what, the guy that showed me this system and actually was using it, that's what he got. He got about 4 or 5 new clients a year by doing this. He only did 1 a month. He didn't get a client from every single one, but he got one about every 3 times he did this. He got a new client. So how profitable do you think this was? And that was directly from the client luncheon. He never kept track of how many other people later on became clients. So be considering doing that. We have the appreciation. If you don't like the barbecue, do the luau event. Digital online marketing, you should all look at this. This will tell you how to get your website on the top. If anybody in your city is looking for financial advice, this will put your website at the top of the when they go online. It'll put it on the top there, and also will make sure that your office is popped up in that Google map. So take a look at that. Friends Helping Friends is a referral program that we have. So it's giving it's a brochure that you could actually print to have clients give to their friends, neighbors, or relatives to promote referrals, and then they get you buy a dinner and a movie for both your clients and their referrals. So that's something that we have. The Halo system, this is for people who have a strong relationship with their church or synagogue. It's a way to nurture that without sounding salesy. So if you want to nurture your church or your synagogue and get more clients from that, that's the Halo system. Christmas Lights Tour is probably over until next winter. A neighborhood mailing, again, if you want to start to dominate a great neighborhood, this is a great way to do it. Royal Loyal System is a person who wants to put their drip marketing on steroids and really start to have that cook for them, where they start to get a lot more people from just dripping on people. This will do that for them. And the WOW experience is something all of you should do. It's how to set up your office. It's only going to cost you $150, $200 to make your office a WOW experience for your clients. And it has nothing to do with your furniture. It has nothing to do with carpeting. It has to do with just little things that you can do for your clients. Again, only $150, $200 to do this, and it's huge. So you should all be doing the WOW experience. And if I go down here to meetings, I'm going to go down to implementation meeting. And I don't know if you're all aware of this, but right now with the one-way selling presentation, some of you are aware of it, some of you aren't. If you go to one-way presentation, one-way client presentation, I'm going to click this new window at the bottom, new window. And I got one person said they lost me. So can I get some yeses that you can still hear me and see me? Okay, good, thanks. So we've got this online now where you can actually do the one-way presentation. It fills in all these blanks for you, so you can move right through the one-way presentation with clients who are, you could actually do this online with clients who are not geographically close to you, or you could actually use this for presenting to clients one-on-one as well. So if it's an easy way so you don't have to remember the whole thing, to walk it right through. So that's available. A lot of people weren't aware that we had that on there. And then down at the bottom, this trip presentation. This trip presentation is something we developed here about 5 years ago, and not enough of you are using it. It's basically like an animated trip down a river, kind of with Angry Birds, you know, that app, Angry Birds type of animation. And it walks a client through a process where they're going to convince themselves they both want to buy. It only works for couples, but a couple will decide they both want to buy Guaranteed Universal Life. They don't know it's Guaranteed Universal Life until the end, but they're going to want to buy Guaranteed Universal Life. And where you absolutely should be using this is if you find a client who has all their money locked up. So it's all in REITs, it's all in investment real estate, it's all in a VA that some dumbass sold them a year ago and they can't move it because of surrender charge. This is a way for you to get a client to become a client and still make, they're not going to be big juvels, they're going to be little ones. So it'll be, you might only make $3,000, $6,000, but they become a client, you help them out, and you get paid for doing it. So that's the trip presentation. And then the big thing I want to show you here is if you're looking for marketing that's inexpensive, if I go to www.mikecastleneck.com, there are every single month there are 3 ideas to market, most of them very, very inexpensively. And this goes all the way back to 2008. So 2008 to present, 3 times per month, you're getting ideas on how to market inexpensively. So guess how many marketing ideas there are there? And I'll just give you a little point for you to think about, guys. How many FMOs are able to come up with this many marketing ideas from 2008 to current? Because you won't find repeats here. So I laugh my ass off about twice a month we have somebody leave us, and they're going over to this other guy because he's got this great marketing. What are they going to find when they get over there? Because I've been doing this for I've been teaching this for 16 years now. Guys, guess how many other people out there have more than one marketing idea? So I'm just giving myself a pat on the back. I think this should impress the fact that, guys, if we don't have something that's working for you right now, contact us or go through here. We're going to find something else. And if you're going to go look for the grass, yeah, that's right, John. The grass is always greener over at the septic tank. So I just wanted, for the guys that wanted a la carte systems, did this help you out, guys? Does this give you some ideas that maybe you weren't aware of? So if you don't want to work with the full 21, we have the 21 Lite. If you don't want to do the 21 Lite, we have lots of other things out here for you, okay? Super. Well, I appreciate all you guys, and if there's no questions, I'll let you go a few minutes early. Hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you on Friday. Thanks, everybody.